What's going on, guys? Kivox here, and another day and another update video on what's going on in the shed. We did finish up those the fixtures that we were doing last time, and I'll show you them in a second. I technically didn't finish them because I didn't do the ones in the back of the building, but that's what we're going to do today. I also have a couple of other things I wanted to point out that I think I missed last time. Thank you for some of you for replying to the questions I had about the outlet thing. I think you are right. I don't think I need an outlet, but I do think I need a light back there. So in case anyone ever had to work on it, they have a light. I don't know if that's just courtesy, but I think it's a thing, if I'm not mistaken. Again, let me know let me know in the comments if I'm right or wrong, or if I'm just crazy. I think either way, I want to have a light out there, which I'm gonna have two. I don't even know how bright these are gonna be or how they're gonna illuminate. So, but let's go check them out. Here they are. I think they came out pretty good from afar. They look kind of weird, but I think they'll look good. I think once everything's together, doors shut, it'll look pretty nice. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, these were super cheap. I will link them in the description if you guys want to pick up your own. Something I didn't mention last time, if you recall, I installed all of these. I drilled out the holes and installed all of those, but I found that some of them were falling out. So what I ended up doing was installing two little screws on each side, or one little screw on each side, and I just went across the entire thing doing that, and I think it looks pretty cool. But you guys let me know if you think it looks weird. I think it came out pretty good, and now I know for a fact that they will never fall out. I did use a construction adhesive around them and then inserted them in, so it should have held up, but I think because of the weather, the cold, the hot and cold weather, and it's wood to plastic, maybe that had something to do with it. So I decided, let's just pop some screws in there and we should be good. Behind where those lights are, you can see some of that putty that I put through there just to kind of help seal it. I'm also gonna put a little wad of foam here, probably just a little ball of foam behind that. And then the same thing on the other side. I'm probably gonna use the insulation, I think that's Good Stuff foam there. So that's what's gonna happen there. But we have to do the ones in the back, and I need to get some lights on in here as usual. So I do usually clean up in here before I start working. The last time I didn't. So as you can see, I have a huge mess. So I think that's the first step today, is to clean that up before we really start doing anything, because otherwise it just gets piled up and piled up. So let's do that first, or I guess second. Let's do that now. As you saw in that time lapse, most of the cleaning is just sweeping up a little bit and reorganizing stuff, because things get spread out and there's really nowhere to store anything. So most of it goes in that little corner right there. All right, so bear with me on that, but now we have space to walk, and it's not that dangerous anymore where I'm gonna be tripping over something with tools. Let's figure out where we're gonna put the light that goes outside here, and we'll see how far away that opening is from the edge, and then we can measure out and see roughly where this opening right here is. We obviously can only put it in there unless I move it over here more, which I can do. I just don't know if that's really what we want. So let's mess around with it a little bit. Okay, so again, we got to measure from this wall to here, and we just have to figure out where exactly it's going to go outside. So let's start off by just roughly checking to see how far away this opening is. All right, so let's see here. We got about 32 inches to the center of this. So let's go see what that is outside. Okay, so we are in the back. We want the light somewhere around here, and there's gonna be another one possibly over there. That's how I have it set up right now, at least. So 32 inches would roughly be right here. So that is lined up pretty much perfectly with the center of that vent right there. Because of the way that the spacing here is set up, you'll notice that that one right there is bigger than the rest. What we have to do, if we want it to be perfectly even, which I don't know if we need it to be, we would have to put it in this cavity here. Now, is that what we want to do? Does it matter as much as I'm thinking it does for no reason? Or do we just put it there closer to the edge? I want to go up as high as possible, but I also have to think about gutters because I'm probably going to put little gutters on this. So, yes. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to set this up off camera. I think you guys saw enough of it in the previous video. If you haven't, go check that one out, and then I'll show you the final results. So on the left side here, I decided to, instead of go in there, to go right over here. You can actually see the hole. So that's where we're gonna go. I wanted to kind of bring the light over here more because the back gets no light from the house lights. So I, just in case I have to go back there for any reason, I want the light kind of, because basically the way that that fixture works is it shoots the light like this, right? So one, the higher up it is, the better. I do think I put it up one level higher of the siding. So on this side, I'm gonna put it over here instead of there. Where I was originally gonna do it, but it's probably gonna go a little bit off, maybe in the center, I don't know. I'm trying to line myself up outside with the what are they called? The vents on the ceiling. So if you look here, I'm trying to just line it up with those vents so it kind of looks uniform. I know that that hole isn't centered, but that's because the hole on here is slightly off as well. So it sits in there like this. Yes, like this. So the hole's slightly off to the right. The center of it's here, so that's gonna line up perfectly with that hole. We finished up the fixtures, so you can see that there. I'm going to still probably put some insulation. I think I mentioned that a little bit before. Put some insulation here, probably in all of these holes too, which you don't really need to do, especially let's say around this guy, because this is the outlet for the outside, and there's obviously not going to be pretty much any insulation on the back of this, but I do want to seal around the edge here to try to just kind of, if there are any little air gaps, which I already put some silicone in there and I taped it up as well to try to block any sort of air leak, right? Because air is your worst enemy when it comes to soundproofing and also insulation. So that being said, let's see if my insulation is still good, or my spray foam is still good. Wait a minute, I just realized I didn't even show you guys outside and how it looks. Let's go check it out. Okay, oh, looks like it's starting to rain, and it's actually starting to rain more, but I think it came out pretty good, right? It is definitely starting to rain, but yeah, that looks pretty good, and I'll show you guys here the outlet outside. So you can see there really isn't a lot there, so it's like this is a huge point of like cold entry and also sound, and I really want to try to make this as soundproof and as you know, thermally sufficient, thermally good. Obviously, the better that it is at keeping the cold or the heat in, the less energy I'm gonna have to use to air condition the room. So yeah, that's why I didn't put any windows. I think I mentioned this before. I didn't put any windows or any like skylights or anything like that. One, they were gonna cost more, but I just didn't do it. It was just gonna cost more and also add another layer of air leakage. It's definitely time to stay inside now because it just started raining pretty good. Before it was just kind of like a drizzle. This is what I'm going to be filling in some spots with insulation, and I do have this gun right here, and I don't know if it's still working, to be honest with you. It may be shot. I may need to get a new one because I tried to clean it, but it's not a very high quality gun. Basically, the way this works, you pop it in there, and if you're gonna need a little bit more than just a small amount of that, then I would recommend getting this set up. If you're gonna use a couple of those cans, you're probably better off getting this than buying the individual cans. For this situation, I want to apply some behind this to plug up the holes, to plug up those openings right there, so that inside of there you can see the light shining through. Inside of that, you won't get all of that that air leakage from the cold wall, especially since there's like almost no space behind this. Basically, the thickness of this barrel here is what we got behind it. So there's not going to be very much insulation. So by putting some spray foam in there, it kind of creates a little bit. And obviously there's going to be more around it, but also plugging up these holes. So I'm going to just put a little bit here in the front and then it in the back. But I don't know if this is this is still working, so I may have to postpone that. Well, we're going to test that out right now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop in one of these cleaners here and see if anything shoots through. And if it does, we should be good. Okay, I think that should work. All right. So I attached the spray foam now. So let's get rid of some of that dirty stuff that was in there. There we go. Okay, cool. So let's open this up a little bit more. Very difficult to do this with one hand. I apologize, guys. All right, there we go. All right, so I guess let's start here like I was saying. Okay, I think it's still going to expand some more, so I'm going to hit up the rest of the outlets. Okay, so first things first, you got to make sure you clean off your gun. Obviously the outside's not going to come off. I got to probably scrape that with a like a knife or something to get that fully off, but the inside is clean. So here we have it. All of the outlets have the insulation behind them, or the foam, the spray foam behind them. So now there's not going to be any air seeping in from the back wall through the cavity here into the room. So that should be good. I also put some insulation around that. This is where it goes out to the lights in the front. I put a little bit right there, plugging up those holes, mostly just to prevent any sort of airflow from going up from the wall or down into the room. The other place I put it was also here, because I tried to fill in the gap between these two with some spray foam as best I could, but I'm pretty sure there's still a bunch of air in there. So by putting at least some in here, it's going to prevent direct airflow from just coming right into the room. At least theoretically that should happen. So I did that on all 4 corners, or the 3 corners that have the wire going through it, and hopefully that helps. Another reason I also put the caulking there in between is to prevent airflow from getting in between. So there you have it. We're one step closer to being done. I mean, I feel like we're not even a little bit close to being done, but we are one step closer, technically. Maybe a couple steps, but there are a lot of steps. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think, if you think I did anything wrong, or if you suggest me doing anything else before I pop on the insulation. I still have to wait a couple days for that to come in for me to start, and then I should be insulating this puppy. Hopefully it comes out good. I started doing the math for how many pieces of drywall I'm gonna need, and it's a lot. Well, it's how many I need, but it's gonna be a pain in the butt. But first, one step at a time. Insulation is next, and then we should be good. So guys, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I think hopefully soon. It's kind of downpouring. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's not, probably can't. It doesn't even look like a lot of rain, but it's coming down like a nice heavy rain right now. Oh boy, I think I'm done for the day. So see you guys in the next one. Bye bye bye.